New York, the Empire State. The capital of New York is Albany, which lies in the east. New York is known for its economy and culture. The state has a population of 22.2 million citizens from different parts of the world. About 9 million of these citizens live in New York City or the Big Apple. People often think of the city New York when someone refers to the actual state. That is why New York is often referred to as New York State. We'll get back to New York City later in this documentary. The immigration to New York started with the first European Giovanni da Verrazzano in 1524. At the time, New York was shared between Indian tribes. After different settlements, especially from Holland, the immigration in New York started for real in the 1860s. This was because New York was easy to access in the United States compared to other states. In the 1970s, New York had a couple of problems with economy, racism, crime, and poverty, but these problems got better, and today the state is one of the safest in the US. On November 28th in 2012, not a single incident of violent crime was reported in New York. New York City was New York's capital until 1797, when it was changed to Albany. A very important event in New York's history was the tragic terror attacks on the World Trade Center on September the 11th in 2001. Members of the Islamic group Al-Qaeda planned the attacks. The way they did it was that they hijacked 4 planes from airports at the US East Coast. The planes then crashed into the Twin Towers, which collapsed 10 minutes later. 9/11 killed nearly 3,000 people and injured more than 6,000 others. The period after the attacks was tough for New York. New York is located in the northeastern region of the USA. It borders to New Jersey and Pennsylvania in the south, and Connecticut, Massachusetts, and Vermont in the east. It also borders to the provinces Ontario and Quebec in Canada. A part of New York is surrounded by the Atlantic Ocean in the New York Harbor. New York, talking about the whole state of course, covers 141,300 square kilometers, which makes it the 27th largest state in size in the United States. Even though you would not look at New York as a state with lots of nature, there's actually quite a lot of nice nature here. I really like the nature and landscape because I really like to just zone out and just take a trip to the woods and rivers with a backpack and a tent. If we're going to talk about landscape and nature, some of the most important places that I really like are Hudson and Mohawk River. Both of these are parts of the mountain system Appalachian Mountain, which actually has its roots in Canada, so it's pretty big. We also have the Finger Lakes, which is a group of 11 long narrow seas, and it came from the last ice age. This is a very popular place for planting of fruit and vegetables, especially grapes for wine. And my favorite place would probably be the Catskill Mountains, which is located in the southeastern part of New York. It is just a great place for hikers who likes to get lost in the nature. Of course, I love Niagara Falls. You have probably heard of it. Short summarized, it is a group of 3 giant falls, which is located on the border between New York and Ontario in Canada. Many of the landscaped parks, like Central Park in New York, is definitely worth a visit to. The only downside with some parts of New York's nature is that there's quite a lot of state parks and 2 big restricted areas, so there's restrictions for what you can do in these areas. The climate in New York is influenced by 2 continental air masses, a warm, humid one from the southwest and a cold, dry one from the northwest. Even though it varies where you are situated, there are usually warm summers and mild winters. New York City, also called the Big Apple, is the most populous city in the United States with about 9 million citizens. The city consists of 5 boroughs, which are also counties. These are Brooklyn, Bronx, Manhattan, Queens, and Staten Island. It is a very multicultural city with over 800 languages from all over the world. New York is known for its many tall skyscrapers, and one of these is the attraction Empire State Building, located in Manhattan. It is a 102-story skyscraper with a height of 443 meters, including the antenna on the top. This is the United States' tallest building. The Statue of Liberty is also a well-known attraction. It is a big statue New York received from France in 1886 as a symbol of their friendship. It is located on Liberty Island. These, along with the many shops in, for example, Times Square, make New York City a great tourist attraction.
Utah. Utah is the 13th largest, 31st most populous, and 10th least densely populated of the 50 United States. Utah has a population of nearly 3 million people. Utah is a state in the western United States. Utah is bordered by Colorado to the east, Wyoming to the northeast, Idaho to the north, Arizona to the south, and Nevada to the west. We got some famous people in Utah, as for example Steve Young and Jake Garn. Jake Garn was a senator in Utah and the first member of Congress to fly into space. He flew aboard with the spaceship shuttle Discovery in April 1985. Steve Young was a professional American football player that was born in Salt Lake City in 1961. State parks. We also got some state parks in Utah, like Gooseneck State Park and Red Fleet State Park, which is the most popular parks in Utah. Gooseneck State Park is a state park near Mexican Hat in Utah and lies at an elevation of 4,500 feet, also 1,300 meters high. Red Fleet State Park is a state park in Utah, and the state park is a home of numerous dinosaur tracks. These tracks are believed to be more than 200 million years old. Red Fleet State Park lies on an elevation of 5,500 feet, also 1,600 meters. The temperature in Utah is very extreme, with cold temperature in the winter due to its elevation and very, very hot summers. The average temperature in January range from -1 in the northern valleys to almost 13 degrees in St. George Eve. The record high temperature in Utah was 48 degrees, and that was recorded from the south of St. George on July the 4th in 2007. The record low temperature was -56 degrees, and that was recorded at Peter Sinks in the Bear River Mountains of northern Utah at February the 1st of 1985. The desert climate in Utah is very dry. The dry weather is a result of the state's location in the rain shadow of the Sierra Nevada in California. The primary source of precipitation for the state is the Pacific Ocean. The Great Salt Lake Desert is the driest area for the state Utah, with less than 5 inches of rainfall yearly. Bear River Massacre. On January 1863, 200 U.S. soldiers attacked a group of Shoshone camped for the winter on the Bear River. In total, they killed at least 250 men, women, and children. This war was between new settlers and original occupants. Mountain Meadows Massacre.
September 11th, 1857 was the date of Utah's darkest and most disturbing day. Just like on September 11th, 2001, religious fanatics murdered innocent people in cold blood. Mormons and Paiutes killed 123 men, women, and children who had put their lives in their hands.